Let me hear it. Fantastic, great to know we have Chester LaBelle Turner in the house. Let's hear it for Chester. Cool. So, you got a clip here, Chester?
Just 1 minute.
Come on, man. Also, tonight, we have Dan Tapor from geekadelphi.com coming up here and doing some questions. So let's get him up here. Let's go, Dan. Come on, Dan.
How do you guys like my costume?
Love it.
Tape Wolf!
I dressed up as a black man. Did a good makeup job, right?
All right, I'm on there.
So my first question would be for you, sir. How did you actually track down Chester? I mean, it's myths and legends surround this man and the car crashes and his death. How did you find him?
Well, I've been looking for Chester probably for the better part of my adult life, actually starting in the early teen years, because I was obsessed with his films, for good reason. And every time I looked for him, it would be dead, not alive, or just someone random that's a similar name. Fast forward around 10 years, I was actually in Chicago, Illinois, on the south side, and I went to a video store called 75th Street Video. And I asked about the films because it was obviously, this is the area Black Devil Doll was shot in. And some guy told me some pretty colorful black woman came in trying to sell the second movie. And I was like, that's probably Shirley Jones. So when I got back, I looked around just the general area, and there was no Chester Turner still. Well, there was, but the number was disconnected. There's two numbers, both disconnected. Then I found something that was just half of his initial, and I called it, said, hello, is this Chester Turner? And I heard, yeah. I said, did you make Quad Dead Zone? Tales from Quad Dead Zone? And there was some kind of an awkward pause, and I was like, okay, it's no one. And he goes, yeah, Black Devil Doll from Hell too. And essentially at this point, I picked up a piece of paper. If you recall, we got disconnected the first time we talked. I was like, I got a bad connection, I gotta go. And it was just like, wow. He's not dead, and I had to compose myself, and then called him back, and 7 months later, here we are.
Oh, wow. So on the other side, that coin, Chester, what was it like for you getting that phone call? And have you ever been contacted before about your films at all?
No, he was the first one that would fire me.
So why did you stop making films? You made the two really amazing films, and then you that was like the last of your output.
Well, I didn't get paid right for the first one I did,
Yeah.
Black Devil Doll, and that really discouraged me. So I went and me and Shirley made Tales from the Quad Dead Zone. We said, hey, we're going to do this movie ourselves and distribute it. And so we did in Chicago and in Alabama. And I made more money off of that than I did off of Black Devil Doll. Okay, so, and then I came up to Chicago, and then, actually, I'll tell you that when most of you guys got a tape, right? Most of you guys. You do the interview on the tape, and let me make a long story short. Give you something to look forward to.
So your films have a very DIY sort of aesthetic to them. Did you ever go to film school at all?
KCV 2000, and I took a correspondence course. It cost me a lot of money at the time. Took up lighting, cameras, sound, and all of that. And that's how I got my technical part of filmmaking. But I've always been a storyteller. I love telling stories. And without a good script, none of it makes any sense to me. So writing is the key to making a movie. Gotta have a good script.
Now, when we were in the car, you shared a story with us. I wonder if you'd share it with the crowd. You actually told us the origins of the Black Devil Doll. Would you mind sharing that with us right here?
Yeah.
It was a great story, no?
Yeah. Well, see, the devil created the doll in a black hole, the darkest part of a black hole. And he wanted the sun. And so after he created him in this dark hole, he had no soul. Then he took him down to hell with him. And the Black Devil Doll became to be too much of a problem for the devil. The devil said that his son was twisted and threw him out of hell. So he cursed him and put him in the form of a doll to serve out eternity in the hood, giving wishes. So that was his curse.
Amazing. So I know when you were shooting Black Devil Doll, there was a bit of controversy with your shoot because of the child you brought into it. Would you care to share some of the fun stories about like the controversy when you were shooting the movie in Chicago?
Well, that was my my sister's son, and we dressed him up, and we threw him. One take, one time. Okay, we had somebody on camera that was going to catch him. Okay, but that's how we did that. Okay. And he also was a little feet was walking, and you see little parts of the hand. But my brother right now is working on the doll for Black Devil Doll Part 2. And the doll will walk and it had his hands, but I'm leaving the face the same.
Okay.
Because, you know, Chucky looks unreal to me. And so if I have the doll where he keeps his regular face, but he can have movement, his eyes, his voice, he can move his head up and down, and his mouth to back, left or right, to me, that's how he's going to develop his personality, plus the words that he uses, the language that he'll use.
So, I guess your introduction on Black Devil Doll 2 now, and I guess you have something to do with that?
Well, first we're actually going to do Tales from the Quadead Zone 2, because Chester went pretty wild with the Black Devil Doll from Hell 2 script. So we're going to start doing short films first. They're, for the most part, written.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to start shooting those probably after we do this theatrical screening and try to scrape up as much money as we can for them.
So, I know with you spoke a little bit about that with actually distributing. You had some issues with Black Devil Doll from Hell, and then you went to Quadead. Which one did you write first?
Actually, Black Devil Doll was going to be one of the stories for Tales from Quadead Zone. But when I started writing that, it took me 3.5 days, approximately 3.5 days. And all I did was go to the bathroom and eat. I couldn't stop writing. So when I finished it, I just realized that I had to make this a movie by itself. It was long enough. There was enough pages where it wouldn't fit into a short story. I'd already shot The Brothers, and this was going to be the second tale. So I stopped that, put that on hold, and I made Black Devil Doll first.
And you said you self-distributed that. And what tell us about how you self-distributed? Because I think it's an awesome story.
Which one?
Quadead.
Me and Shirley just went down the streets. We just picked the street. Said, okay, Shirley, today we're going to work this street. So we went down the street. We saw, in those days you had mom and pop video stores. I don't even think it was a Blockbuster. It was. I don't even remember it wasn't one of them yet. It was a lot of mom and pop stores. So we go in there and we tell them something about the movie, tell them we made this movie. And I think that they were impressed with the fact that I was out here taking my movie from store to store to get it out to the public. And so I say if we hit 10 stores, we had to place maybe 5 or 6. So that wasn't really a bad percentage when you think, but we was doing it ourselves. So it took time and gas.
Now, when you do the new films, how are you going to be distributing those?
Through me. Through me.
Through me. So you're going to be selling DVDs or digital download?
Fuck digital. No, never. We're going to do just DVDs, didn't do all of the overly gaudy releases I do. So there's going to be VHSs of them as well, because I think it's a Chester Turner film. I think those kind of go hand in hand. And we'll, of course, have a very, very nice DVD sets with interviews with Chester, Shirley, any people we can con into being into these movies.
And my brother.
And my brother, of course.
Awesome. So my last question, this is kind of a weird one. So for Tales from the Quadead Zone, what's the significance of the big D? I've always wondered that, the big D, how it's in the title.
Shirley just did that for artwork.
For artwork?
Mm-hmm.
You want to? Oh, okay.
I get him to do this every screening because it's amazing. How many people have seen Quadead Zone? Anyone? Just a few? Okay. So Chester's not only a filmmaker, he's a musician. He did the scores for both. And he also sang the Quadead Zone theme song.
Me and my brother.
So, want to show everyone that?
Oh, Lord. The parts I can remember. If you like your terror dolls and strong, welcome here, you can't go wrong. Dolls will kill, the dead will too. It's all right here to entertain you.
Now, are there any questions from the audience for Chester? You, sir?
What did you think of the Black Devil doll movie that came out a couple of years ago?
I never seen it, never will.
I think it sucks.
Me too, and I haven't seen it.
Anybody else? Well, then I guess we will go back into Black Devil Doll from Hell. Thank you very much, Chester, for coming out. Thank you. Thank you, Master Video for bringing and buy DVDs and VHS.